Hello, today we are bringing you our top 10 favorite things to do in Gatlinburg. This list is comprised exclusively of things that we have experienced on the channel that are our favorite things to do in the area. We should mention that there's no specific order to the list as well. Gatlinburg has a seemingly endless list of family-friendly things to do in town. So the activities listed here is just a small piece of the whole. Without further ado, let's get started. First up, Astra Lumina at Anakista. Astra Lumina is an immersive experience of both sound and visual effects. It is my personal favorite thing to do in Gatlinburg, bar none. We would suggest heading into this experience to be completely present in the moment. And if you do so, it's impossible to go into this place the same way that you come out. When Anakista brought Astra Lumina to the park, it was the only such attraction in the United States. Moment Factory, the creators of Astra Lumina, have locations all across the world. This is one of the only experiences that has continued to call me back time and time again to go back and feel what it's like to be in the presence of such a beautiful sound and landscape. Astra Lumina is a must experience your next time in Gatlinburg. Next up on the list, the Arts and Crafts Loop. Now we hear it time and time again, Gatlinburg's too crowded, Gatlinburg's too commercialized. Well, apparently you've not visited the Arts and Crafts Loop if you believe that. The Arts and Crafts Loop, comprised of glades and buckhorn roads, has hundreds of local artisans displaying, selling, and giving create-your-own experiences on the loop. If you're looking for the old-timey feel of Gatlinburg, it still exists, and it's right here. There are photographers, painters, woodworkers, blacksmiths, opportunities to buy local made pottery and ceramics. Just about anything you want to remind you of the Gatlinburg of old is here. But it doesn't stop there. A drive down glades and buckhorn is one of the most beautiful in the area. In fall, it's always adorned with some of the most beautiful color in Sevier County. If you're looking for mountain heritage, make sure to take a drive on the Arts and Crafts Loop next time you're in town. Skylift Park is certainly an attraction that you are aware of if you've been to the Smokies once, twice, or several times. For years, Skylift was just simply that, a skylift. You rode to the top, came back down, that was it. But there's much, much more now. The beautifully constructed sky bridge spans 680 feet and gives you sweeping panoramic views, maybe some of the best views to be had in Gatlinburg. And as you can see here, it is absolutely the perfect place to take in a Smoky Mountain sunset. But Skylift Park also does it up for the holidays. Their Lights Over Gatlinburg event is a must-see if you visit the area during the holidays. Skylift Park has been and continues to be one of the best things to do when in town. But in our humble opinion, it's only outdone by Anakista. The creative team at Anakista managed to integrate a top-of-the-line theme park experience with the old feel of mountain heritage in Gatlinburg. They provided a polished vibe that still stays true to the mountains. Inside the park, you'll find attractions like the Treetop Skywalk and Anakista Tower that come free with the price of admission. To go a step further, Anakista is always looking for new ways to improve visitor experience. They are currently in the middle of a huge expansion, bringing all sorts of new attractions to the park. And we spoke for a minute about the holidays at Skylift Park. Well, Anakista just goes way above and beyond. Their fall and winter decorations are a spectacle to behold. With the addition of Astra Lumina, if someone asks me, hey, I have one day to be in Gatlinburg, what should I do? The answer to that question is always Anakista. Beautiful place. Next on the list, Impossibilities Magic Show.
This is not only magic, it is the spectacle of the week.
Now this one may come as a surprise, but don't sleep on Impossibilities. We came to this show not really knowing what to expect. I don't think it's any mystery that there's a lot of magicians, and not all of them are really good. But Eric Dubell is a consummate professional. And not only is he a consummate professional, but he has created this show that is going to be entertaining for visitors of all ages. Now, I really like magic, and have spent more than my fair share of time looking into how magic is performed. And there were things that Eric did that I just couldn't explain. So on your next trip to Gatlinburg, make sure to stop underneath the Space Needle at Iris Theater and check out Impossibilities. Next up is Minot Park, which is our favorite city park in the area. Sitting right at the national park border, it still feels like it's a part of the national park. A beautiful stream whose waters come from Mount LeConte run right along the entrance of the park. This is a great place to run in the fields, bring your dog, have a picnic or a cookout, play some basketball, let the children play at the playground, or just chill out by the water. We should also mention that this park just underwent a huge renovation, which brought handicap accessibility all over the park, even down by the stream. Maybe the best thing about Minot Park is that if there's ever crowds in the national park and long lines of traffic and all this, and you're staying in Gatlinburg, this place is hardly ever crowded. Not a lot of people know about it. So it's a great substitute for a national park picnic area. Next up on the list, local moonshine and cider tastings. Now, we will say that we were going to substitute this with hillbilly golf or Ober, and it could be substituted by those things. But one of the most popular things to do in the area now is to go to a good moonshine or cider tasting. For the purpose of this video, we showed our latest tasting at Tennessee Stud, but there are a multitude of places to have a good tasting while in Gatlinburg. Old Smoky, Tennessee Shine, Sugarlands, to name a few of the moonshine tastings, and there's also Savannah Bee Company, Tennessee Cider Company, and Tennessee Stud on the cider side. Every tasting experience that we've had so far has been delivered to us by a colorful host. It's always a good time. We should also note that a lot of the wine shops in town do tastings as well, so if you're more of a wine person, they have you covered. So next time you're in town, make sure you stop by one of these, and to make sure to drink responsibly. We love arcades, so our next one on the list is Arcadia, which we believe is the best arcade in town, or in the county for that matter. As far as variety of games and prizes are concerned, Arcadia just can't be touched. You will undoubtedly see games here that you won't see anywhere else. And among the prizes are things like Nintendo Switches, Xboxes, PS2s, tools, coach bags, and like real coach bags, not like bootleg coach bags. So they have just about anything you want. So if you're into arcades like we are, make sure to hit Arcadia while you're in town. We find it very difficult to be downtown and not hit Arcadia, to be honest. Next up on the list is simply walking the strip. There's always been something special about walking down the strip in Gatlinburg. The sights, the sounds, the people, the smells, it's just always been a great experience. And before we moved to the area and I daydreamed about being here, this is what I would daydream about. One of our favorite places on the strip, and I think this is true for most people, is the Village. This is something that you don't see in a lot of other places. You don't see this in Pigeon Forge. You don't see this in Sevierville. There's just a special feel about being there and sitting around the fountain and smelling the donut fryer and the coffee shops. It's always an amazing experience. And the best thing about this activity, if you park in one of the free spots along River Road and you just walk the strip, it's completely free to do. And it's one of our favorite things to do. So make sure to take advantage of this free activity next time you're in Gatlinburg. And now finally, our last spot goes to Ripley's Aquarium. Hitting up the aquarium is by far one of our girls' favorite things to do in Gatlinburg. But this is also a sentiment that we share as adults. The staff here is always friendly and helpful, and they're always adding new exhibits to the aquarium to give you a variety of things to see on each trip. Watching the fish swim in the tanks is something that I normally have to be pulled away from. It's literally something that I could sit and watch for hours. Probably our favorite thing here at Ripley's Aquarium is the shark tunnel. Being able to walk through that corridor and have a hammerhead shark swim right over top of you, be that close to a shark and be completely free from danger is a really cool experience. The staff at Ripley's Aquarium are always friendly and more than willing to answer any questions that you may have about any of their exhibits. We should also mention that if you're here during the holidays, they do it big for the holidays as well. They have different Christmas exhibits and Santa Claus is there, all sorts of things for the kids to enjoy during Christmas time. All right, that's a wrap for us on the top 10 things to do in Gatlinburg. Please feel free to jump in the comments and let us know what your favorite thing to do while you're in Gatlinburg is, especially if it's one that's not on the list. So as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. If you made it this far, like if you liked it, comment if you're a fan, subscribe if you're feeling it. If not, that's okay too.
Wow.